Hi, my name is Angel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do another Kindle Unlimited recommendations video. I have done quite a few of these across multiple different genres, so if you are interested, I will link my recommendations playlist down below where you can find all of my Kindle Unlimited videos. So let me preface this by saying that these are not personal recommendations. I'm not sitting here saying I've read all of these books, they're good books, and I would recommend them. It is just more of like, if you are in the market for a holiday romance book, here are books that are available on Kindle Unlimited. You can read them right now if you have a membership. So, if any of these books are bad, that is not my fault, okay? I'm just here to tell you what's available. So, I do have a few different sections to this video. The first ones we are going to go over are Christmas romances, and these are like the cute, cozy ones that you might pick up if you're looking for that Hallmark movie Christmas feeling. And then I also did find quite a bit of like spicy Christmas romances, and of course that's not to say that any of this like first section is not going to be spicy. I don't really know, but they are not as obviously spicy as some of the other books in the spicy section. And then I also did find some Hanukkah centered ones as well, so those will be in here, timestamps and everything. Skip around to where you want, but let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first one that I have pulled up here is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. This is described as being enemies to lovers, funny and spicy. So I guess this takes place in a town that goes all out for Christmas, and they have an annual Christmas competition. I think we are reading from a man's perspective, at least from the synopsis, and one of his like enemies or whatever moves in next door to him and then enters this competition, and he doesn't want to let her win, so he enters the competition as well, and things start to get a little heated between the two of them. Next we have a novella. This is My December Darling by Lauren Asher. This is a small town setting. It says it is a Christmas themed romance between a grumpy maid of honor and an outgoing best man who chases after what he wants. I have seen this one around, and I think it has pretty good reviews. Also, by the way, I have my laptop down here with all the books pulled up, so that's why I'm looking down. Anyways, next we have another short story. This is called Holiday Hideaway, and it is by Mary Kay Andrews. It says it is about a newly single 30-something whose unauthorized vacation rental turns into a hilarious game of hide and seek when the new owner unexpectedly shows up. And judging from the cover, there is a dog featured in this book, so we love that. Next up is A Holly Jolly Grumpy Christmas by Addison Moore. And it looks like this is a box set, so there is actually 3 different Christmas rom-coms in here. We have A Holly Jolly Grumpy Grinchmas, Just Add Mistletoe, and The Ex Who Stole Christmas Kisses. The first 2 are tagged as being enemies to lovers, and then the last one is a second chance romance. So if you're looking for a few different things to dip your toes into for Christmas, then maybe consider this one. Next, I wanted to talk about the short story collection from Amazon. It's called Under the Mistletoe, and it features books by Allie Hazelwood, Tessa Bailey, Olivia Dade, Alexandria Bellafleur, and Alexis Daria. So these are 5 different short stories that are all themed around Christmas. You can get one of them, you can get all of them, depending on which authors you're interested in. And I believe with Kindle Unlimited, when you get any of the Amazon original stories, you also get the audio for free. So if you want a short story via audio, you can pick up one of those. Next, we have My Favorite Holidate by Lauren Blakely. Wanted, hot billionaire to pose as my Christmas boyfriend. Must be willing to make my cheating ex jealous by kissing me under the mistletoe at holiday parties. Bonus if you make him cry. So, it sounds like a fake dating situation. Kind of fun. Oh, this is almost 500 pages. I love the cover though. I think that really delivers on those Christmassy vibes. The next one we have is called The Plight Before Christmas. This is by Kate Stewart, and it is book 1 of 2 in the Holiday Hijinks series. So this one and the next one are both available on Kindle Unlimited. It says it is a second chance Christmas-themed romance that is most definitely on a Santa's naughty list. So I'm assuming that means that there is some spice in here. So I guess this is about a man who's not having a really good holiday season. A lot of different things have been happening. He went through a breakup, and so he goes for a family Christmas, and then his ex shows up there, and I think we can all assume what happens from there. The next one I had to do like a double take a couple of times because this cover looks so similar to the one that I just talked about, but they are completely unrelated. This one is called Good Elf Gone Wrong. This is book 1 of 3 in the Winter Brothers, I guess, connected series, and this is by Alina Jacobs. So this woman catches her fiance cheating on her with her sister on Christmas Eve. That's crazy. So I guess she was like a good girl, and now that she catches this happening, she is going to transition to the bad side and find herself a bad boy. So, you know, good for her. The next one we have is another Megan Quinn book. This is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. Okay, so I'm just discovering that this is book 2 after How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. So this one says, nothing says I love you like trespassing, public humiliation, and a town-wide Christmas spectacle to win your crush back. So I believe it is about 2 people that are working for rival Christmas tree farms. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth between them, but they end up falling for each other. Next we have The Santa Scheme by Lila Davis. This is tagged as being a grumpy sunshine romance. Aaron is the police chief in this small town, and Ava is a music teacher. She is all about the Christmas spirit, and he is not so much, and she is trying to, I guess, bring some Christmas into the town. Next up, we have one simply titled Holiday Romance. This is by Catherine Walsh. She's meant to be catching flights, not catching feelings. Molly and Andrew are just trying to get home to Ireland for the holidays when a freak snowstorm grounds their flight. So this is described as being friends to lovers, festive romance with a swoon-worthy hero. So I guess they are just going to be getting into some shenanigans together. Next, in the world of the very beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe, we have The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. So it is a part of the Dream Harbor series, which features the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, but it says it can be read as a standalone. It is a spicy romantic mystery. Kira hates Christmas, but she owns a Christmas tree farm. Why? I don't know. Bennett is on vacation in Dream Harbor, and he gets trapped at Kira's farm. And then I guess they have to solve a mystery together. I don't know, but it looks cute and cozy, and like it will have all of the good Christmassy Hallmark vibes. Next up is Christmas at the Shelter Inn. This is by Rayanne Thane. I don't know why that took me a second to pronounce. This is book 1 of 2 in the Shelter Springs interconnected series. So the second book is called The December Market, and they are both available on Kindle Unlimited. So I guess this is about a woman who comes home to Shelter Springs for Christmas, and she is staying at this inn and helping out her friend, and then we have a man that enters the equation, and you know, I think we can all figure out what happens from there. Next we have The 12 Months of Christmas by Sheila Roberts. 3 women, 3 terrible Christmases. Can they finally perfect the holiday by celebrating every month? Oh, okay. It is a story of family, second chances, and holiday do-overs, brimming with warmth and Christmas charm. So maybe this is another one that is not quite romance, but more of like a women's fiction type of book. But it does say that it involves second chances. So maybe there are a little bit of second chance romances featured throughout the story, but is not the focus of the plot in that one. Next up is Highland Hearts Holiday Bookshop by Trisha O'Malley. delicious banter, bookstore magic, adorable puffins, and a heartwarmingly happily ever after makes this an enchanting Christmas treat. So we have a woman that inherits a bookshop in a small town in Scotland, and she finds a man there, but she kind of has this preconceived notion that she doesn't believe in love. So the camera just really died on me with no warning. I swear it had like 3 bars and then it was like, oh, actually I'm dead. Anyways, what I was saying about this one is that it says she doesn't believe in love, but I'm assuming this man is going to come and kind of change her mind on that. The next one we have is called Confessions of a Christmasaholic. This is by Joss Wood. This is a pretty short synopsis, so I'm just going to read the whole thing. It says, Sutton hates Christmas. So much so, when confronted with a house that looks like Santa himself vomited Christmas all over it, she accidentally destroys every fairy light, fake reindeer, and candy cane in sight. Unfortunately for Sutton, the house belongs to none other than Gus, single dad and owner of the village's year-round Christmas shop, aka Mr. Christmas himself. But Mr. Christmas has a secret that only Sutton knows. With the two of them forced together for the holidays, the sparks between them are hot enough to melt even the coldest of hearts. Is the secret that Mr. Christmas actually is Mr. Christmas? He's actually Santa Claus? Anyways, so it's like a grumpy sunshine, but the woman is the grumpy one in here, it seems like. Next up, we have the only book off of this list that I actually have read, which is The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. This is another small town Christmassy one. These enemies to lovers deliver the holiday feels with a dirty talking hero, ballsy blonde who never backs down, steamy hot break the dining room table sexy times, and a small town that still believes in the magic of Christmas. So this is about a town that has been wrecked by a hurricane. This woman and her reality TV show comes in and they're like, we want to give your town a makeover for Christmas and make it really special for you guys. And she gets a lot of pushback from the mayor of the town, but then they end up together. The next one we have is called Marry Me. This is by C.R. Jane. She thought she buried her past until it shows up in a Santa suit at her sister's wedding. So her sister is getting married on Christmas Eve. This man that she used to know in high school, who then I guess went away, says he went to Hollywood, so maybe he became famous. He comes back and shows up at the wedding, and maybe there are some rekindled feelings. Next up, we have one called Hostel for the Holidays. This is about, I guess, a woman that is flying home for the holidays. It's a 4-hour flight. She gets sick, and it just so happens that her childhood rival is there on the flight with her, ends up taking care of her. When she gets to the airport, she finds herself in a situation where she passes this man off as her boyfriend. So now she is in a fake relationship for the holidays with her childhood rival. That is by Erin Hawkins. Sorry, I realized I didn't say the author's name. Next up, we have a book called The Holiday Star. This is by Melissa Diamond. So it says this is offered in 2 different versions. So you can get the spicy and open door version with mild explicit language and intimate scenes, or you can get a sweet, clean, closed door version with no language and only kissing. Well, that's kind of nice. So you can choose what your preference is if you want something spicy or if you want something a little bit more wholesome. 1 doctor, 1 movie star, 1 house, 1 month until Christmas. What could go wrong? And this is also book 1 of 2 in a series called Holiday Romance Spicy Version. So I guess you would just navigate to the other version if you wanted that. The next one we have is called The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is by Sarah Rosh. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It says Red, White, and Royal Blue meets The Nightmare Before Christmas in a sexy, quirky rom-com where the golden-hearted Prince of Christmas falls for the totally off-limits Prince of Halloween. That sounds really fun. Maybe I'll add this to my TBR. So maybe there's a little bit of like a fantasy element in here. I would be really curious to see how each of the worlds are developed as far as like Christmas and Halloween. I'm definitely going to be keeping that one on my radar for this holiday season. The next book that we have is A Holly Jolly Ever After by Julie Murphy. So we have a male main character who is a former member of a boy band. Then he moves home and opens up a pizza chain. Oh, and he has a leaked sex tape. Okay, all right. And then we have the female main character who married her childhood sweetheart, avoided the downfalls of adolescent stardom, and transitioned into a stable adult acting career. She even waited until marriage to have sex. And so I think they both get together because they are both going to star in a Christmas movie alongside each other, and they clearly have very kind of opposing personalities, and maybe their on-screen romance becomes a little bit more real. Sounds like it could be kind of fun and cute. Next, we have a book that is called Unlucky in Love by Kiva Hart. Oh, this is actually a 4-book series. They all have the same title, and I believe they just all take place in different seasons, or maybe focused around different holidays. So in this one we have Brooke, who leaves behind her life and her partner Toby to chase her dreams in New York City, but then she returns home to help her grandmother recover from surgery, and I believe she meets up with Toby again, connects with him again, and then I'm sure something else happens. This is a novella. This is only 119 pages. But that might be kind of fun if you pick that one up for Christmas and you really like it. Maybe you can read some of the other ones in the different seasons that they take place in. Next, we have a book called Meatloaf and Mistletoe. This is book 1 of 9 in a series called Belle's Pass, and they all seem holiday focused. The second one is called Hot Cakes and Holly, Jam and Jingle Bells, Apples and Angel Wings, Eggnog and Evergreens. So I'm sure you could probably just pick up any of them and read them. But this first one, it takes place in Belle's Pass, Michigan. Christmas isn't just a season, it's a tapestry woven from the warmth of the community, the joy of lifelong friends, and magical surprises. We have Ivy and Shepherd are the 2 main characters, and they are both secretly in love with each other. Next up, we have The Bright Side of Christmas by Morgan Elizabeth. This is probably my favorite cover out of all the ones that I've seen for this video. I think this cover is so gorgeous. Like, it makes me want to read it just based off of that. This is a small town grumpy sunshine romance. Says she is the outgoing town sweetheart who helps everyone, and he is a grumpy songwriter who moved to the small town to disappear. They are neighbors that are kind of feuding. He hates Christmas and she loves Christmas and is the head of the decorating committee. So it seems like a pretty classic dynamic that it says book 1 of 2. Okay, I thought it was connected to one of the books that I talked about earlier because it said it's book 1 of 2 in the Holly Ridge series, and I'm pretty sure I saw one of the other books took place in a town called Holly Ridge. Anyways, it seems like a pretty classic, like, Grumpy Sunshine, Christmassy dynamic, but that cover is so stunning that I might just pick it up based off of that. Next, we have another Lucy Score book. This one is called The Mistletoe Kisser. This is about Ryan, who works as a corporate accountant. He gets fired, and then he ends up having to fly to this small town to see his great uncle. Oh, and then we have Sammy, who is the female main character, and she is trying to manage this small town and their like winter Christmas celebration, and I guess this guy Ryan was her first kiss, and he doesn't seem to remember that when he gets there, and they are kind of feuding. And then I have the last one for this section is called A Little Magic. This is by Lindsay Lanza. This is book 1 of 2 in the Sugar Valley series. I don't think that the second one takes place during the winter holidays, but if you like it, then maybe you can pick that one up in the different season. 9 years to fall in love, 8 nights to learn the truth, one chance to rewrite the past. So this is about a woman named Ellie who left her hometown after graduating. She left behind her first love, and then she ends up back in that hometown. She's trying to avoid anybody she knows, but she does find him again and finds out that he is a big hockey player in the NHL, and he is trying to get her back. It says, told over the course of 9 Christmas Eves and 8 nights of Hanukkah, A Little Magic is a cozy, nostalgic story of young love, finding your voice, and the complexities of what it means to be a family. So it sounds like a pretty stereotypical plot, but I think it's going to be told in more of a unique way. Now, to get into the few like overly spicy ones that I found, like these ones are definitely spice heavy. Some of the other ones may feature spice, but they are not as bad as these, I guess. Not bad, but like not as prevalent. He Sees You When You're Sleeping by Alta Hensley. Why choose between naughty or nice in this steamy, suspenseful, Christmas-themed stalker romance that's perfect for dark romance readers seeking a spicy, festive read? It's the night before Christmas, and I'm alone in the house. ... She has no idea that I know her better than she knows herself. Her deepest secrets, her darkest desires. She's careful, but I've been watching, never leaving footprints in the snow outside our home. Outside her home, my bad. So, a Christmas-themed stalker romance. Is her stalker Santa Claus? Then we have The Naughty List by Jade West. Ella, a desperate, newly single goth girl with a mountain of debt, would do anything to see her parents this Christmas. The problem is, her parents live on the other side of the world. She ends up hooking up with a rich guy, perhaps, and finds that maybe she wanted a little bit more than just some money. Next up, first of all, this title, this cover, I just had to include it. It is called Daddy's Holiday Toy, a surprise pregnancy, dad's best friend, reverse harem romance. And I'm just gonna leave it there because, like, what else do you really need to know? Like, I think the cover tells the story. Next up is Scrooged for the Holidays by Kayla Gross. Greer Mallory doesn't believe in fate, magic, or Christmas miracles. She believes in money, power, and keeping her Ice Queen heart frozen solid. But when a snowstorm lands her in the hidden mountain of Elysian Pines 3 nights before Christmas, she meets Malachi, Ramil, and Samuel. I don't know how to pronounce these names. 3 men who aren't just handsome, they're something otherworldly. Are those the Christmas ghosts? The ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future? Then we have Theirs for the Holidays, which, first of all, there were so many books that were just like titled like blank for the his for the holidays, Daddy's little girl for the holidays. I don't know, this is the first one I saw, so it ended up on the list. Theirs for the Holidays by Eva Ashwood. I didn't mean to tell my entire family that I'm dating my ex's 3 older brothers. But to be fair, the lie wasn't even my fault. When my ex asked if I'd be bringing a +1 to his holiday wedding, I did what any self-respecting woman would do and said, of course. I probably should have been prepared for follow-up questions, but when my ex asked who I'm dating, I drew a complete blank. That's when his 3 gorgeous older brothers spoke up at the same time. Now my family thinks I'm dating all 3 of them. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading because the synopsis just keeps going, but had me hooked for a bit. I was like, wait a second. How does she... I get the fake dating thing, but how do you fake date 3 people? So, sounds interesting. Sounds awkward, actually. Next we have The Holiday Hookup List by Alexis Daria. The 12 Days of Christmas have never been hotter. Spice up the holiday season with this sizzling enemies to lovers romantic comedy by an internationally best-selling author. So we have Valencia, who breaks up with her cheating fiance, and she's just not feeling in the Christmas spirit. I need to read this word for word. But when my best friend invites me to a holiday dance party, I show up ready to shake my ass. Good for you. And then we have Gideon, who is getting a second chance with Valencia. This is so cheesy. We're both alone this Christmas, so we create a naughty and nice list that would make Santa blush. 12 days of wholesome Yuletide cheer, and 12 nights decking each other's halls. I can't. I'm done with that one. I just can't take some of these books seriously when, like, that's how they describe themselves. Anyways, then we have The Christmas Trap by L. Steele, which is a snowed-in billionaire holiday romance. Snowed in with my billionaire boss, and we're fake married under the mistletoe. One grumpy, emotionally unavailable billionaire CEO, one spirited, overworked assistant with an ex to outshine. One marriage of convenience that's supposed to be all business until a Christmas blizzard traps us together on his private island. That sounds problematic. There's definitely like a power imbalance there, and I'm not quite liking that, but if that's something you're into, pick this one up. Next, okay, listen. I went from finding spicy holiday romances, and then I found a monster one, which I'm going to tell you about, and then it led me down a very weird path that I just have to mention because I want somebody else to witness this with me. Anyways, so the one that led me to this path is called Monsters, Marriage, and Mistletoe by S.C. Principale. Frankenstein made them, life tore them apart. Can the holidays bring them back together? So, Mr. and Mrs. Frankenstein's monster. So I guess this is like a second chance thing, where they were married before, they ended their marriage and they both like left, and then they both come back to the same town, except she is there to have him sign the divorce papers, and he is maybe hoping to reconnect with her. So if you are into monster romance and you want something a little bit cute and Christmassy for the holidays, there's that one. However, that then led me to this book that is called Tentacles Are Coming to Town. Renting a house in Chicago for Christmas sounded like a fantastic way to take a break from responsibilities waiting for me in Greece, until an unexpected visitor knocked at the door. First of all, what is that cover, right? What is that? Listen. Then it says, part of Tinsel and Tentacles series, 21 books. And so I click on this, and I go here, and first of all, they're all by different authors, but they all have that same, I just gotta say it, horrible cover design. Not all of these are available on Kindle Unlimited, but if you are interested in these, you can pick up titles like Tied in Tentacles, Six Stingers Stinging. I can't. Six Stingers Stinging. Gift Wrapped in Tentacles. Tasty Tentacles. Aliens in My Stockings. Sea Monster. Single Dad. Holiday Wishes and Tentacle Dreams. Jingle Bells and Tentacle Spells. And Tentacle Resolutions. So if that's your thing, check those out. If you do read one of those books, please let me know. Please leave me a comment and say that you read it, because I want to know. Anyways, those are all of the like Christmas themed ones. Now I do have a few that are based more around Hanukkah, if that is what you are interested in, so let's get into that. So the first one I have is called 8 Wishes. This is by Melissa Hunter. Talia Green appears to have it all. She's a successful wedding coordinator, has a handsome live-in boyfriend, and is a popular social media influencer who shares her perfect life online. When she walks in on her boyfriend having an affair, her whole world is turned upside down. Talia returns to her family's home for the holidays, hoping to hide from everyone, and she runs into her childhood rival at a Hanukkah party. New feelings ignite like candles on a menorah, and the box she finds in the back of her closet containing a gift from her beloved grandmother helps her realize what is truly important in life and teaches her the meaning of family, love, and Hanukkah. And there's a cute little dog on the cover. Then we have one called Kissing Kosher by Jean Meltzer. So we have a female main character who has chronic pelvic pain, which has forced her to sideline her photography dreams and her love life. So she is now working as a manager at her family's kosher bakery in Brooklyn when she hires a man named Ethan. Ethan isn't actually there to work. He's undercover to get the secret recipe. As they bake side by side, they find themselves more interested in each other, and he is hoping to help her find the chronic pain relief and pleasure she's been missing. So, I don't know. I'll let, whoever decides to read this decide if it's a good representation of somebody with chronic pain, because that is not something I experience. Then we have one called Twinkle, which, first of all, listen to this. My childhood bully wants me. And my baby. What do you mean? What do you mean? After I find my fiance cheating, why are so many of these books about cheating fiancés? The last thing I expected was to move in with my summer camp rival Benji. He had a spare room, and at 6 months pregnant, I'm more than a little desperate. It's only supposed to be temporary. Except Benji isn't the loudmouth jerk I knew growing up. He's a kind, gentle soul who says he wants to take care of me and my unborn baby. He spoils me with presents for every night of Hanukkah. He makes me feel special. So, she's 6 months pregnant, finds out her fiance's cheating on her, and then ends up living with her childhood rival. Sounds like a lot of drama. This one, it says it is a holiday romance for both Christmas and Hanukkah. It is called Merry Little Bookshop, and this is by Allie Brady. So we have a woman whose company sends her to a small town for a holiday pop-up bookstore for the month of December. So she's there to open up this pop-up bookstore. As soon as she gets there, she crosses paths with a man named Johnny, a local who traded big city dreams to come home and care for his dad. He's cocky, flirty, and totally not Shira's type, but he might be perfect for a no-strings holiday fling. So they work together to build up the bookshop, and they fall in love. Next, this is another one by Jean Meltzer. This is called The Matzah Ball. Rachel is a nice Jewish girl with a shameful secret. She loves Christmas. For a decade, she's hidden her career as a Christmas romance novelist from her family. And she is dealing with a chronic illness, which has always kept the kind of love she writes about out of reach. But her publisher is pushing her to write a Hanukkah romance, and she ends up working with her summer camp arch enemy, Jacob Greenberg. What is this with summer camp rivals? Anyways, Rachel and Jacob haven't seen each other since they were kids. The grudge still glows brighter than a menorah, but as they spend more time together, Rachel finds herself drawn to Hanukkah and Jacob in a way she never expected. Next up, we have a steamy Hanukkah romance. This is called 8 Crazy One-Night Stands. So this is about a woman whose mother challenges her to find a boyfriend before the annual charity Hanukkah party. So I guess she just goes around and she's going on dates and hooking up with different guys in order to accomplish that. And then the last one that I have for you guys, this one I think is also, it's called Hat Tricks and Christmaka Nights. So I guess it is Christmas and Hanukkah. So this is about a woman. Lainey is a single mom, and she gets into a rival with her next door neighbor, and things start to take on a more flirtatious vibe. Tyler is a hockey player, and Lainey is a single mom. This is a story filled with families who celebrate the winter magic of both Hanukkah and Christmas. Okay, so maybe one of the characters celebrates Hanukkah, one of them celebrates Christmas, and then they come together, and that is all of the holiday romance books that I have for you guys today. If you've read any of these, please feel free to leave your thoughts down below. Let myself and other readers know what's worth it, what's not worth it. And I hope you all have a great holiday season. I know it's a little bit early, but we gotta prep, okay? We had to plan out our reading ahead of time. So I hope I could give you guys some good recommendations, maybe something you would be interested in. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys next time.